Good evening. We are live. Hello, everybody. Damn, live button does not go fast enough. So, how is everybody tonight? Let's see where everybody's at. Oh, why is my sound up? That's not correct. Sound should be in my speakers. Here we go. Anyways, hello, everybody. Everybody here, Goalie, Patty, Zero Fox, Matt, Alpha Fox. Wow, a lot of people here already. Stormcrow, Mike L, Stephen Cooper, Leighton Gay. Yeah, wasn't my fault. Wrestler Town says Apple products are toys, not for work. Not sure what we're getting at there, but okay. Hi, Pie Case. Patty, you were first. I don't think you were first. I'm pretty sure you weren't. I'm pretty sure you weren't first at all. So, why is this not working right? Lies. No, Patty, you're not first. Who got first? Gonna go all the way back up to the top. 6:45. Starfucks, don't forget to wipe. Good advice. Good advice. I think it's very timely advice. Noel says I should check out the Congress pistol brace hearings and the ATF hearings today. Yes, things got just a little bit spicy. One of our good friend of the show got to be a spicy boy. So let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, 26-1, yes. God has shown us the way. Oh my gosh, you guys are ridiculous. 31st, 35th first. Wow. What else you guys got here going on? I would like to see the manager. Oh, fuck. Locals. Damn it. I knew I had everything else set. Locals, I forgot that. Sorry, locals. Oh, son of a bitch. Get everything else done. I had it done for hours. I'm like, life is good. Got the dishes done. Got the laundry all fired up. You know, I'm thinking we're rocking and rolling in the free world here, and then nope, just had to fuck it up. Just had to. Community page. Add a content. Sorry. Fucking locals. Let's see here. Enable live chat. Publish. Oh, this chat has never been ended. All right, so you guys have chat and locals now too. I'll try to check on that, but I got locals or rumbles going. That should be all set. I don't know about the rest of it. It's boomered. Yeah. It's really boomered if I forgot it. It's not like I messed it up. I'd say that's a difference. So I don't think that counts. Hope everybody's having a good night so far. It is, well, I mean, happy Friday. Or Thursday. It is almost Friday. A lot to talk about. There will be a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to go through this pretty quick. KSU, I guess in the basketball world, stuff happened. I'm not a big fan of it. No Mike. Thanks. Oh. You were the first, but then chat cleared. I didn't mess with the chat, so I'm confused what happened there. I'm confused. Tano, hello, how you doing? Let's see here. Did I see the shooting in Phoenix? No, I did not. Did I see the disbarment highlight reel that Alyssa made for me? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Very funny. Yes, I did. Very, very funny. Oh, hold on one second, you guys. All right, never mind. It was all set. Let me see here. What else are you guys talking about? Great night. K-State won and Baconville lost. I don't know who Baconville is. I'm not a big basketball fan. Dolphins at SeaWorld can do what basketball players do. So I'll leave that alone. Speaking of shooting, Bifront saying, I got a CZ75B today. Very nice. Nice choice. The gun did. The gun did. Oh. Hello, is this where the ATF chat is at? Yes, yes, it is. Jay is saying, did you see the Gwyneth Paltrow pic next to Jeffrey Dahmer wearing the same glasses? Yeah, she looks very creepy. And if you guys weren't aware, I know Joe covered a little last night. Gwyneth Paltrow got into a skiing accident. And I know some of you are thinking, well, I don't ski and I'm never going to be able to. Yes, she was out skiing somewhere doing rich people stuff and collided with a guy. And it's he's claiming like, I can't taste wine anymore and do the things I liked. It's a bunch of rich people suing each other. So I don't know how well it's going to go ultimately. Let's see what else. Who's in locals? Who's in locals? The Winter Soldier. Job well done's here. You got them both? Runkle is also. Runkle is also what? Huh. Okay. Danny was in court today. Okay. See Billdozer. Billdozer Rumble says, I didn't have my earbuds in, and the first words that come out that he heard were, oh, fuck. My girls weren't asleep yet. Hey, they got to learn somehow. They got to learn somehow. Oh, Claude is saying Runkle is covering Gwyneth Paltrow's case in the evenings. Okay. Okay. All right. Speaking of Runkle, when are you getting a sous vide? I'm not boiling stuff in a bag. If I'm cooking meat, I'm cooking it the right way. So, we got another minute or two. We'll see who else shows up. Darcy saying, Danny is talking about her day in court right now. Yeah, I had an interesting day in court. It was a lot of fun. Got to argue some First Amendment stuff. That was a lot of fun. It's a case I got a point. The court asked me if I would take, and the guy's charged with violating a city's signing ordinance. Basically, he put signs up. He parked his car in a parking lot at the city park and put up signs saying the mayor's a crook and the police are corrupt and they try to kill him. Well, on their big piece of poster board, and the city cited him for improper signage on a vehicle. And the city is making the claim that you can only have signs that are, 11 inches by 11 inches. And that's clearly not the case because you could see cars and trucks going down the road all day long with massive signs on the sides. They're also claiming that he violates the law because that's a political advertisement. Now, I kind of I disagreed, saying a political advertisement's, vote Nick Rekieta for judge or vote Joe Neerman for whatever, your local rabbi. So those are the things that are political advertisements. Saying I think the government sucks. Well, I'm advertising my opinion, but that's not really a true sense of the advertisement. Either way, it's a law from the 1960s. My guy, I think the judge seemed very receptive to my arguments, so I think we might actually win it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to make the argument. So that was a lot of fun for me today. That's probably been the highlight of my month. I was looking forward to this all month long. So yeah, I think the Kate. Well, I have a feeling the city's going to dismiss it, and then when they do, I'm gonna they're gonna get really mad when I file for his property to be returned because they seized his signs as evidence that he violated the signing rules on vehicles. So he has the right to have those back. They don't have the right to destroy them. So I'm sure they're gonna get mad when I and this is all in an appointed case too. That's the funny part. If I had been really like God, the amount of time I've had to spend on this, it's been hilarious. But super chat. Farmhand Tom for $20. Thank you very much. Just immediately mock up of one of your law cards. Too many good clips to pick from. If your audience has thoughts on their favorite moments, let me know. Just hit the goal in Kickstarter. I did see that. Congratulations on the Kickstarter goal. I will take a look at that and let you know. I know Steve was like, "Oh, come up with one." I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, what I think might be funny is probably going to be like really, really not funny to people. So, guys, if you have any ideas what's funny, let Farmhand Tom know. What do you think would be funny clips of things to put on the cards for me? But thank you, Tom. I appreciate the super chat. Third rail says his signs are probably true. No, they're not. Not. No. This is a boring suburb. They're not. This guy's a little. So I none of that's true. The police did not try to kill him, but he has the right to say it. You have the right to say not true things. Parallax is saying the Building 7 card. Sure. Oh. Dumb Man in T1 says, but if you say don't vote for, that is not political. No, that would be if you're saying don't vote for a school levy or don't vote for this person. That would be a political advertisement, I think. I think that would be a valid argument. The problem is, and I pointed this out, this 11-inch by 11-inch signage thing doesn't apply to anybody. They haven't ever charged anybody with this that I can find. The police, for example, have police splattered on the side of their car. The fire department's, got big signs on their car. They don't stop every vehicle that passes through their suburb, Bob's Electrical Service or, Steve's Septic Service. Oh, God, that would be really bad. Steve's Septic Company, SS on your truck. Oh, boy. Spicy turd hauling. They don't stop people or cite people for these signage issues. And also 11 by 11's like a sheet. It's basically having a sheet of paper, a little bit larger than a sheet of paper for a sign on the side of your car. That's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Like I said, when you read it, it says it was written in like 1964, and I get it for 1964 maybe, but don't know. Participation trophy wife says Joe from Moyle made me spit my drink. Yes, reformed convicts. Joe's a tax collector. Yes, Joe for auditor. Oh. Harrietman says those F slurs when you can say faggot, say faggot. Those faggots wouldn't have done this shit if his sign said the government is awesome. Yeah, very true. If he had gone in there and saying, I love the government, I love the police, back to boo, the tin boo wine, our heroes. Yeah, nobody would have cared. So that will be. Oh, there you go, Farmhand Tom. All about the shade says the one where I fell asleep for a minute. So, Chaucerian Fraud. It's good to see you. It's been a little while. So give him back his signs. He's allowed to put them back up. That's the best part if you win. Oh, yeah, if he does, I'm seriously filing a motion to have his stuff returned. That will be fun. Let's see here. We're 15 minutes in. I guess it's time to start. You guys don't need to hear. Guys don't care about hearing about my day. So let's just go. Let's go. We'll start off with this one real quick. Graham saying Zachariah Anderson convicted with zero evidence. Yes, I heard about it. From what I've been able to piece together, this was a poor case, but this is the risk of being tried in America. I don't, that's how it goes, guys. A lot of people get boned. So that's all I can really tell you. Oh, Patty Lewis says a Sean Ruby Ridge card with an AR. That's not a bad idea. So we are going to start off with the idea of whether or not Trump is going to get indicted. Former President Donald Trump. Look, we've been told it was going to happen on Monday. He thought it was happening Tuesday. It's Thursday and nothing's happened. At this point, who knows? I don't think we really know. There's a grand jury that supposedly had been talking to people. Michael Cohen, his former attorney, that rat, that cheese-eating rat, Michael Cohen. I mean, really, you're going to be an attorney ratting on your client like that? You can't do that shit. Ratted him out for what? Nobody likes him now. I think he thought the left was going to cradle him and think he was so cool, and no, he's a joke now. Cannot narc on your clients like that. Didn't help him at all. Still went to prison. So, we're dealing with that. What's going to happen? Now, is it going to involve the money to Stormy Daniels? That's what it sounds like it's going to be, but is it going to be tax fraud, improper reporting, fraud? We're not really sure what they're going to charge. I mean, there are things they can charge, but there's multiple issues here. What's the statute of limitations? We've got a lot of problems with that. We've also got a problem with Michael Cohen, his attorney, giving a letter to the Federal Elections Commission saying, no, I didn't do this. From many years ago. There's all kinds of problems. And even if this does, let's say they do indict him, hypothetically, which I don't think is going to happen. You're going to have like Michael Cohen. You're going to have Stormy Daniels. You're going to have Michael Avenatti. Like, you're going to have those three people. Now, two of them are felons. But just think about how hilarious the DA is going to have for witnesses. You're going to have Michael Avenatti and Stormy Daniels, those two fucking idiots. It's just not going to be good. I don't think the grand jury is going to indict. I don't see why. I don't see what this gets anybody. And this is, why is New York pursuing federal charges? They're not pursuing federal charges. They're using the money, the campaign finance issue, but was the state level tax information reported properly? That's how they're getting him. And whether or not this works, this is just ridiculous. Now, if they can get him, okay, great. I don't think they can. I mean, this has been going on for how many years now? How many people have tried to come after him and nothing happens to him? I think you have to look at him from that aspect and give him the benefit of the doubt that nothing's going to happen at this point. And then if it does, fine. I would also point out for those of you out there, don't go down to New York City and protest. That's going to be a fed up, number one. And number two, look what happened the last time people tried to help him out. He left them hanging in the wind. And also says it wasn't even Trump who paid Stormy. Correct. It would be interesting to see how they're going to link this all together and put it all together. Mr. Squiggle says he's not going to jail regardless. You'd think that, but his Trump Foundation, Trump Organization financial guy is getting hammered and is getting crucified. So no, that is far from guaranteed. That is a very real possibility for him. And Claude is saying, what does it get? The front page of the New York Times. That's about it for right now. So we will see where this goes. Right now, don't hold your breath. I mean, it's any day now. There's another bombshell. The bombshells are closing in. This is the beginning of the end for Donald Trump. You can find those clip ensembles all over YouTube. No, at this point, I'm not worried. If it happens, it happens. Oh, well. And we'll deal with it from there. JMord66 for $10 says your card should use a still of a younger you trying to stop your client from talking to the press. I think it was when you were. You're talking about when I was in Toledo. Yeah, when I talked to the toe sucker. Yeah, it should be captioned as assert the fifth. Yeah, but I don't think people would realize it's me. I had a lot more black hair back then. So let's see what everybody else is here. Mr. Squiggle says, does his Secret Service go to jail with him? No, but he would be in protective custody. The Secret Service doesn't go to jail with him. Jonathan said, I used to be goth. No, I had jet black hair growing up. When I was a little kid, it was black. It was like shoe polish black. And then slowly, by the time I got to about 14, it's a little gray hair poked up. And then, very slowly, it just kept going and going. It's been a long road to get to this point of having decent hair. It's been a long road. Now, moving on to the next person. This person actually did get indicted. Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation. He did get indicted for reals. And what did he get indicted for? Well, he got indicted for war crimes. And how did he get indicted? Well, he got indicted by the International Criminal Court. One of those issues is it's not only Vladimir Putin, but Maria Alexeyevna Lvova-Belova. Now, who is she? Well, she's the commissioner for children's rights in the office of the president of the Russian Federation. Okay. So she's in charge of, children's, rights. The allegations are that they transported, the crimes are transporting children from Ukrainian territory. Okay. Now, these are children that were orphans. They were children that were in care homes. They didn't have parents. Now, transporting them alone, if they were just getting them out of the battlefield so they didn't get hurt, that's one thing. But the allegations are they then transported them to Russia, put them up for adoptions, granted them Russian citizenship so parents could adopt them, and they're adopting children out. That's the allegation, and that becomes a war crime because that becomes genocide at that point, deporting and depopulating areas and removing peoples and their identities. So, the verify the ICC is. So, hold on. Well, you guys are going way too fast here. Harbor Warble says the same ICC that wanted to arrest Bush Jr. They could have, but they didn't. They didn't file an indictment against him. So, what does this all mean for Putin? Well, right now, not a whole lot. And also, if you guys are wondering, it's Articles 82A, 7, and then 82B, 8 of the Rome Statute. And that's a statute that codifies war crimes, crimes against humanity, genocide, wars of aggression, all those things, and how the international court works. Now, the warrants are out there, but for right now, Putin can do whatever he wants. The only issue is if he goes to a country that's a signatory and has ratified the treaty, well, he's subject to arrest, and any country that is a signatory and ratified member has an obligation to arrest him. Well, the Russia signed it, and then they decided not to ratify it. The U.S. signed it and decided not to ratify it, and a couple of the countries are in that same position. Then there's a handful of countries that just never signed it, period. Now, this does bring up interesting issues. We get to the G20 summit coming up in India. India signed it, but they did not ratify it. So he could show up in India, and India has no obligation to do anything. But if they decided to arrest him, they could, and then turn him over to the International Criminal Court. Now, certainly Russia would see that as an act of war, and I think India sees that as probably being an act of war as well. So I don't think they would if Putin showed up. I don't think Putin is going to show up just because he's handling the war in Ukraine, which, even though the Russians are, winning at a glacial pace, it's still not going well. Yes, they are bulldozing their way across the Donbass, but God, they are just eating through metamaterial. So we will talk about this more. I'll probably do a separate video just to explain how this all works and what actually he's accused of specifically. But yes, a world leader did actually get indicted, not just talk of it. Yes, they could F around and find out. A job well done says, so he can come to the US, no problem. Here's the thing, though. I wouldn't. If you were Putin, would you want to come to the United States? I wouldn't trust Biden and the US government not to arrest me. I definitely wouldn't. So he would not come here. Although technically he could. Now, ultimately, Putin may decide just to stay in Russia, and that's kind of like house arrest in your own country, which a lot of us might think, well, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. But when you're somebody who's as rich as he is, and he's allegedly one of the most richest men in the world, excluding like the Saudi oil sheikhs, I mean, having all that kind of money, having yachts and planes and places all over the world you can't never go to, that would actually be kind of rough. So, HM says Ukraine has to be close to a break point. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm very sure they are. I think they're the Wunderwaffen are not going to save them as much as I'd like to think they would. Reality is, this is like watching one of those videos where a crocodile's eating a warthog, and the warthog's fighting, but there ain't nothing that's going to happen. Uh, M2 is saying, did you see the video? They're actually bringing out T-54, 55s. That actually is not 100% confirmed. That may be an old video. We'll find out, though. Maybe. Who knows? Allegan News says diplomatic immunity would be interesting. He doesn't have diplomatic immunity at that point. I mean, this is the idea that the world decided you're a bad guy, so we're going to arrest you. Your diplomatic immunity means nothing at that point. And diplomatic immunity means you can't, be punished. Well, to an extent. I mean, the heads of the German government and heads of the Axis powers were still prosecuted, and there are, heads of the Serbian government were tried and convicted. So it's kind of one of those deals. International law, it operates on anarchy. If they don't want to do something, they don't have to, and if they want to do something, they can justify it however they want. Well, because we're the international law system, and we can do that. By Francis, has Putin ever been to the U.S.? I think he may have been at some point when Bush was president. So now there is a theory, and this is one thing I'll bring up when I do my bigger video. They've only charged him with one thing: transporting these children, transporting people as a form of genocide. Not the killing of civilians, not a war of aggression, any of the things that you could say he's done as well. They only went after him for this one thing. Why? Well, now you don't have to negotiate with him because you can't be forced to negotiate with a war criminal. That's just bad and not nice. So the cynical part of me is thinking this is done to avoid having peace talks happen. But that's just me. So that is where we are with that. Goalie saying, yeah, the rumors are that these older tanks are going to be used as short range artillery, and they could be. They could be used as assault guns. Who knows what they're doing? But the fact is that video is not, 1080p. Even in Russia, they got good cell phones. That it might be an older video. We don't know. There's no way to know. So I think we have to just chill out for a second. So we'll leave it at that. I guess we'll put a pin in this one, and hopefully I can get that video on this knocked out tomorrow. It's a crying James says, hello, how you doing? AD says, is China going to send lethal aid to Russia? At some point, I think so. Solely for the fact that Chinese need to figure out, does our stuff work? Everybody else has tried their equipment out. And I think at some point soon, we're going to find out how a Leopard 2 fares against the, Warsaw Pact equipment. Whether or not a coronet's going to put a hole in it. But I think the Chinese are going to do it just to get field testing done. Because remember, this is the Spanish Civil War, like part 2. Everybody's trying out their equipment, trying out tactics, because we're learning what happens. So, Third Railify saying, so England is providing Ukraine with the depleted uranium ammunition. Isn't that the start? Isn't that literally starting the nuclear war? No, because, okay, depleted uranium is denser than lead, and there's tons of it sitting around. So when you put it into a projectile and it smashes into armor plating or something hard, number one, it breaks up. Sometimes it breaks into dust. That dust is pyrophoric, meaning it explodes and lights up, kind of like when a grain elevator explodes, pyrophoric. But it's also self-sharpening, like a piece of flint or even a piece of glass. You break a piece of glass, guess what? That piece you broke is now sharp too. So you've got these fragments of uranium just shredding through and exploding and burning at the same time. That's the advantage of depleted uranium. So no, it's not like using nuclear material. It's been used for decades now. It's used all over the Gulf War, used in Iraq. Most of the cannon shells of these rapid fire cannons carry it because it's just devastating. So that's really not that big a deal. Yes, it's self-sharpening. Yes. Alec says no, because everything is made of atoms, so everything is nuclear war. Yes. We're nuclear war. Oh. Patty Leather's saying, yes, DU causes cancers and deformities for centuries. Yes, it does. It leaves a lot of heavy metal poisoning. And then I will leave on this part, Justin Hancock saying, it's just been, hold on, you got to do it right. It's just been revoked. This is who we are, says good for those Challenger tanks, and those aren't going to last too very long. So, well, the uranium's going to be left all over the parts of Ukraine that are the breadbasket, where they grow crops. So, I'm not sure where those crops are going to end up going. Maybe it'll be hilarious if the Russians keep those areas and sell uranium tainted grain to Europe. I mean, that would be ironic. DU should be banned. Whatever allows people to, whatever allows, it helps take care of business. Saying banning certain kind of weapons, I'm never on board for that. Weapons are weapons. So, well, like I said, we'll have to put a pin in this, and we can talk about Ukraine later. So I guess we need to move on. We need to move on. One we talked about before is Justin Roiland. The one of the writers for Rick and Morty, but also the voices for Rick and Morty. Well, he's got some good news coming his way. His domestic violence charges against him have been dropped. This is from earlier today. If you guys don't know what he looks like, that's what he looks like. Kind of looks like douche, but hey, well, Morty, I guess the charges are dropped. Oh, geez, Rick. Oh, geez. So the charges have been dropped due to lack of sufficient evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. Meaning her story probably wasn't credible and something was up with it. Or she recanted. That's what happened. But they don't like to say it that way. Now, it caused problems for him because he lost his job. Everything he had started and worked on and kicked him off or demanded he quit. So he's been basically unpersoned in Hollywood, which, that's what happens when you believe all women, I guess. And then he released a big thing here saying it's justice. Well, got to release that on Twitter, and we'll see what happens for him going forward. But thankfully, he's avoiding the serious felony charges because those were not sounding too good at the beginning, what he was charged with. Will he be filing any defamation suits? I don't really know if he can file one. mean, there's generally, prosecutors, have prosecutorial immunity. And if people come to them and make claims, they're allowed to investigate and file charges. And then the press has a right to report on charges, criminal cases. So they're going to be really hard pressed to find that. Who would you go after for defamation there? So that's where I think. That's where I think I don't really know where it's going to go for him in that case. Oh, check Discord real quick. Oh, don't send me a picture of your dick. Oh, yes, Sir Marhos, member for 3 months. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Guys, I appreciate the support in any way you show it. Whether it's memberships here, super chats, Discord, if you send me pictures of your genitals, whatever it is, however you wish to show that support, I truly appreciate it. And yes, you're asking, are we going to see our good friend Fuddbusters? We're going to get to that. Yes. Mr. LaRosiere goes to Washington. Don't worry. We're not going to forget about that. We are not going to forget about that. Isaac Baruch's wholesome Gabagool art for $5. Thank you for the support. Yes. Oh, geez, Rick, why be a male feminist? Shut up, Morty. It means you can do whatever you want to women, Morty. Just ask Harvey Weinstein, Morty. They let you do what you want. Oh, geez, Rick. Namesmith says, why hasn't Seth MacFarlane been outed yet? I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. Maybe he hasn't done anything. That's also partially possible. Although, given the way people in Hollywood act, it sounds like they're all deviants in one form or another. And then Merm's been a member for 4 months. Thank you very, very much. I wish I could make this show up, but it doesn't show up here in StreamYard, which sucks. So, what did Seth do? Nothing. Although there's always allegations of everybody doing something or another, depending on who you ask. That's how that goes. Next is Lori Vallow. I'm sure you remember her from in the Chad and Lori saga, where they murdered the kids and now they are facing death penalty charges. Well, hold your horses, because that looks like that may not be happening. And how do we know? Well, for right now, the prosecutor screwed up. So good job, state of Idaho. You really hit it out of the park here. So the death penalty is off the table for Lori Vallow. She escapes the needle, which that already is a victory. Because now you don't have the stakes are the stakes are life in prison, but now you can, fight for lower. Why was the death penalty dismissed? It was following late disclosures of evidence. Well, that tends to happen when you screw around with it. So the judge ruled out the death penalty because to ensure that her rights to a fair trial are protected. And why is that an issue? It's because the prosecutors did a late disclosure of evidence, which, could overturn the case on appeal if there was a capital conviction. And what was the issue? If they release evidence too late, her attorney said, well, we need time to go over this stuff. Judge says, nope, we're having our trial on our trial date. I believe it's April 3rd. We're going. Well, there's only one way to handle that. If you improperly overturn evidence, whether if you're the state or even the defense has an obligation to provide discovery as well. If you don't provide it in a timely manner, it can be excluded. And one of the ways that you can exclude it is saying it can't be brought up, or if it's worse, if it's bad enough, you could punish, especially the state, you can punish them. Charges can be dismissed. They can be sanctioned. Other things can happen. So, or if you're on the defense, you can be precluded from asserting that defense. So that is the issue there. Chad Daybell has waived his right to a speedy trial so his attorneys have more time to review the evidence. The dismissal only applies to Lori Vallow's case, and she did not waive her right to a swift trial, and she's set to begin her trial on April 3rd. Now, I don't know who's covering that, but I might try to jump in and cover it on this channel as well if we get the chance, depending on what my schedule looks like. So we will be trying that. But that is a big deal there. The state doesn't get punished. Well, they wanted something and they lost it. That's a big deal to them. Sweet Tooth Fairy saying, are you going to cover the Vallow case? I'm going to try. AD says, doesn't New York law require evidence be turned over to the defense in 15 days after charges are brought? I don't know about New York specifically, but yes, there's an obligation to do it as soon as you can. But in a case like this, where there's ongoing and there's investigations and more stuff and more and more stuff and more stuff, discovery is an ongoing process. If the cops are doing something or reports come in or new tests are done, as soon as they get them, they disclose it. As soon as they get them, they disclose it. So there's still, you think about it for a murder case, if you gave everything right away, there's stuff out there. Like all the forensic stuff's being tested. You don't have it yet. So getting a bunch out right away, yes, but in a more technical case, a more serious case, a bigger case, you're going to have subsequent disclosures. A captain says Kurt is going to try covering with the audio only. If it's just audio only, God, that's going to be rough. Hoping there's video. So we will find out. Justin, you're right. There's an ongoing duty to supplement. It is. And that's just when you get it, you provide it. But if you don't have it, you don't provide it, but it may take a while. So, Antron Hemingway says, how you been? I'm doing good, brother. You call me brother. Well, I call you brother. So, let's see here. We have a super chat from Walter Malone for $10. Want to get to that. Thank you very much for the support, Walter. 7 cops are suing Afroman for using his raid footage of his home for a music video. They got a case. We'll get to that in a second. We'll cover the I actually have the actual complaint. So that'll be something we'll talk about. And short story is no, they're just being a bunch of bitches. Being a bunch of bitches. Bunch of bitches. All right. Where is this? That one's done. This one's done. This is done. Okay, so in the Proud Boys, in the ongoing saga of the FBI's abuses in the Proud Boys sedition cases, the seditious conspiracy, booga booga. Well, we found out more today, and by finding out something, well, we're just gonna, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about what until we get going. Because there's a problem. And it's a bit of a big problem. And by big problem, I mean an absolute fucking disgusting problem. So we start off with Zachary Rell is one of the Proud Boys. He's up. And the defendant's corrected motion to compel disclosure of all FBI interviews, reports, and all DOJ memos relating to the recording and reporting of the defense team. Yes, let that sink in. So what happened? Well, the FBI had a confidential human source, a CHS, and any other witnesses the FBI communicated with regarding the possibility of any recordings or reports that have made regarding the defense team. Yes, you're reading that right. Their confidential source was involved with the defense team. Now, they're preparing a separate motion to dismiss the indictment or for an evidentiary hearing, really detailing this. But once we get on, this motion's based on a disclosure made by defense counsel, which was yesterday, at the end of the court's proceedings, where the government stated one of the witnesses who was scheduled to appear in the defense case the following day has been serving as a confidential human source since April 2021 through at least this year. Right there. Literally, as this case was starting, they still had a snitch running around. During this period of time, the confidential human source was involved in contact via telephone, text messaging, and other electronic means with one or more of the counsel for the defense and at least one defendant. Yes, you are reading that right. You are reading that right, guys. You are reading that right. The confidential human source the FBI was running was interacting with defense counsel and the defendant. And they didn't tell them that. Guys who had already been indicted, who were already there, and they had the source interacting with them. Oh. During this period of time, the CHS also participated in prayer meetings with members of one or more defendants' families. They also engaged in discussions with one of the defendants' families members about replacing one of the defense counsel. I'm not like, what more are you supposed to say or think or react to that? What really? Really? I mean, I can make the jokes about, you know, down at Patuxent River, like a cruise missile cutting loose accidentally and hitting the Hoover building and leveling it, or hoping that, you know, a Norfolk Southern rail car derails right there, or just a sinkhole or an asteroid. I mean, a million different things. Maybe a battalion of Russian paratroopers shows up and just cleans house. But I mean, what more can you say when this is going on? What more can you say? What more can you react to? I mean, there's no. It's beyond words. It's beyond words. They knew this person was interacting with these people. They didn't seem to think, maybe we should pull this person out. They let him go. It's the FBI, too. So you can't trust them that nothing happened. So the allegations about the existence of yet one or more previously undisclosed CHS, yeah, and that's the thing. How do we know it's just the one? We don't. And how do we know if they gave reports? Because we already know the agents were told to destroy things. So who knows if there are even reports generated about this? Maybe there were and they were destroyed. We had an FBI agent admit on the stand they were given the task of destroying documents. If you did that, that's evidence tampering. Them doing it, well, that's just us being us. Bros being bros. You know, that there are reasons to doubt the government's explanation for justifying for withholding information about the CHSs who've been involved in the case. And they disclosed it on the day before the witness is scheduled to appear. Yeah, that sounds really sus. Very sussy. Sussy as fuck. I mean, that's sussier than a cat boy. So Nick Fuentes, we found somebody who's sussier than you, brother. And all your cat boys. Come on now. So that's the response from there. And you guys notice I brought up that Proud Boy snitch? Yeah, they had a snitch. Fucking cheese-eating rat. Just fucking running around in the ranks. Now that person, fuck, hope he stepped in front of a fucking truck. I mean, you fucking piece of shit. Notice I said I hope they do, not saying I'm going to. AD for $2. Thank you for the super chat. Says, who is your daddy and what does he do? So, who is your daddy and what does he do? It's not the Tuma. But the government did respond. Notice, here's the government's response. The government's response relating to the recording and reporting of the defense team. Okay. So they're going to point out that, well, yeah, it happened. So any reportings and recordings of the defense team. Well, you know what? Their motions moved because such recordings don't exist. Bullshit, they don't. Bullshit, they don't. Bullshit, they don't. Bullshit. You fucking liars. You lying, cock-sucking pieces of shit. They guarantee you that shit exists. How do we know that? We already had the agents admitting they were destroying things. So forgive me if I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. And if you have a confidential source running around, you're documenting what they do. That person's reporting back to you. You don't just, well, it's the FBI. So yes, when they're manufacturing terror plots, they let their people run free. You know, sometimes they forget about them, kind of like Timothy McVeigh. Just saying. But in this case, they were going to surveil. They were surveilling the entire time, up to January. Surveilling. So they claim, the FBI says, this motion is based on serious and substantiated allegations of governmental conduct involved surrounding surreptitious invasion and interference of the defense team by the government through a confidential human source at the government's behest. Well, the FBI says, well, you know, this premise is entirely baseless. As background, the government neither relied upon any evidence from nor referenced the CHS in its questions in its case in chief. Notice what they're saying there. Well, no, we didn't use any of their information. But that's a non-answer to the top part here. The government neither relied upon any evidence nor referenced it. But you just said there's no evidence and it doesn't exist. How can you neither rely upon any evidence? Well, if you just said there's no evidence, like you said, we'll just say as background, the government will state there was no evidence gleaned from this person. But now they're saying we didn't rely upon any of it. Well, that doesn't sound like you're answering the question a little differently there. A little bit, at least to me, just a little bit different. That's somebody trying to make sure they don't commit perjury. That's somebody trying not to commit perjury. Because guess what? They're lying. Oh. It was only after counsel for defendant Enrique Tarrio, the head of the Proud Boys, proffered on March 21st they intended to call the human source and that they intended to listen evidence that had provided the FBI. Its reporting became relevant and arguably discoverable. Yes, and now listen to this. And this is the bullshit you get from appellate courts. To give rise to a disclosure obligation, the evidence and materiality must, of course, be evident to a reasonable prosecutor. The prosecutor need not guess that evidence may become material as a consequence to defendants' not yet revealed strategic decisions. Yeah, you don't think it's important to let them know, hey, we had somebody snitching on you the whole time? Because that certainly would affect all strategic decisions, especially if that source was involved in the strategic decision-making and knows about it. And now you know about it. Because certainly if I've made strategic decisions and I find out the prosecutor knows, I'm not going to fucking do those. I come up with a different goddamn plan. Furthermore, it was only after the government disclosed the CHS status as a CHS to the defense team, the government learned that the source have been in communication with one or more counsel for the defense, and that the source had participated in prayer meetings with the defendants' families, and the source had been engaged in discussions about defense counsel. So once again, the FBI is trying to say, oh, well, we didn't know what our source was doing. Bullshit, you didn't know what the fuck they were doing. No fucking way I believe that. No way I believe that. And I no way in fuck anybody listening to me right now is going to believe that. Just let your source go all hinky-jinky all over the place. No, we're not. We're just derp, 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 derp. No, I don't buy that for a second. Let your source run wild. You're going to document what they do to protect your ass. But the FBI says in their declaration from one of their special agents, who's probably a cock-sucking liar as well, Christina Spindell, you're probably a fucking lying piece of shit too. The FBI never tasked the source with gathering any information on the defendants or their defense counsel. According to who? Is that in writing somewhere? Because I'd love to see that. Was there a written order, documentation for this? You claim there's none, so how do we know that's the case? Wouldn't that be part of something you'd write down as part of wrangling your source and handling them? Once again, a lie, or what is this supposed to be? Don't know. And although the FBI was generally aware the source was active in assisting defendants charged with crimes related to the attack on the Capitol and their families by assisting in fundraising and protesting about their conditions of confinement, the FBI intentionally never chose to ask the source about their relationship with Tarrio or any defendants or counsel in this matter. Bullshit again. Bullshit again. Moreover, upon learning from the source that the source had participated in a deposition related to this case and had been subpoenaed as a defense witness in the case in January 2023, the FBI promptly notified the source that it was terminating its source relationship. I mean, I'm not going to say we caught somebody in a lie here, but somebody is in a lie here. And how do you know that? Well, there's a big lie. Big old lie. Big old lie. How do we know that's a lie? They learned that this source had been subpoenaed as a witness. Okay. What are we going back to up here? What's this shuck and jive bullshit? Oh, the prosecutor doesn't have to guess what evidence may become material. Oh, yuck, we're just simple folk like that. But you just learned they were subpoenaed. You learned they were subpoenaed back in January. So you knew they were subpoenaed back in January. Guess who gets subpoenaed? People you want to come in and testify, i.e., a witness. So the FBI knew this person was a potential witness. They knew that they were likely to be called. They just said, well, hey, we're done working with you. But then they mum's the word. We're not going to say anything to anybody. Well, what's their answer going to be now? Well, we didn't really know you were going to call them, so we weren't sure. They knew. They knew this entire time, and now somebody's lying to the fucking court here. Somebody's committing perjury. I don't know if it's the AUSA. Might be them. Might be the FBI agents. Might be all of them. A whole lot of cocksuckers. Absolute fucking horseshit. Absolute horseshit. Sorry, we're getting through this, guys. We're going to get through this. That certain defendants or defense counsel chose to communicate with the source about matters related to prosecution is a decision made by them. This is where I really wish I did have a producer. Like I'd tighten all the fuck the way up on me. I mean, just here's something to think about. Just we're gonna get real quiet for a minute. Kind of like a contemplative thought. if you're a defense attorney, put yourself in my shoes. And I've got a case right now where, there's a couple of co-defendants and a couple of them snitched on each other. If I learned that I was talking to somebody who was a snitch, and they were trying to allegedly help me and help my client, do you think I'd continue talking to them? Or do you think I might chase them out of my office with a baseball bat? Just something to think about. Just something to think about. Because nobody knew this person was a snitch. Call him a source all you want. A snitch! However, the government in no way orchestrated such alleged voluntary interactions. You knew what was going on. You were, as stated above, you were generally aware. If you were generally aware of what the fuck they were doing, well, why don't you do something about that? Moreover, the government is still unaware of the nature and scope of any contact between the snitch and any of the defendants or their counsel. Okay. So you didn't keep any records. You just did this willy-nilly. Doesn't make any sense given what you stated above, but all right, fine. There's been no intrusion on the defense camp. If you have no records, how do you know? How do you know? How? And then number two, if they've been talking with defense counsel, they haven't intruded on the defense camp. And then no such recordings or records exist. Once again, that's not clear from what you stated above. That's not clear at all. Oh, God. I should apply to the FBI. Why do you want to work for us? I want to make shit up too and not get in trouble for it. I mean, after all, it's what you guys fucking do. Oh. Fucking cocksuckers. Fucking cocksuckers. We're just gonna. Fucking Czechist. That's what these guys are. It's again the American Cheka. Government's out here and trapping people, aren't they? Kind of sounds like it. It's Trenton says mistrial comes to mind. Yup, but it sounds like that's not going to happen even after everything we've already dealt with. The government's not, the court's not going to do that. The DC court is not going to do a mistrial. Yeah. Parallax, you're 100% right here. Yeah, I'm sure that source wasn't like, hey, man, you should probably get a different attorney. I mean, like, I'm just saying, for why? Well, yeah, to fund the FBI, fuck the feds. Oh, yeah, fuck the feds. They dismiss with prejudice. I agree they should, but I don't think it's going to happen. Court's not going to do it. Court's not going to do it. Simic Magic says, I'm sensing some hostility here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Harbor Warble says, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. Yes, they do. Jim, thank you. I appreciate the comment, man. Because I'm Batman 5702. Snitch is something. Okay. I guess we need to go to this whiteboard time, guys. We're gonna have a whiteboard moment because that is not correct. I appreciate people thinking that, hey, snitches, yeah, they get stitches, but no, they don't. I mean, they might, and they probably should, but there's really something else you need to think about here, and that's the true nature of snitching. So while I appreciate that, Batman, this is really kind of what you need to be thinking about here. That's what you need to think about. That's what you need to think about. It's not about stitches. It's about ditches. So kind of the rhyming's good, but a little off there. Rhyming's kind of rhymes, but you're fuck saying Sixth Amendment merch idea. Sixth Amendment toilet paper. I might actually do that, sadly, because that's fucking true. Oh. Wow, I'm sorry, guys. That was a long little spur grant. Capisi says CHS is basically a rat that's being used to avoid charges. Yep, that cheese eating fucking rat gnawing away. Capisi's like, yes. The FBI be like, hey, we didn't burn the compound down this time. We done do good. Name Smith says we are not going to make it. I'm not sure. Allegan News says, can you FOIA a 1099 sent to the CHS? They would they would claim that's confidential and classified information. I don't think that's FOIAble. So Jacob Castro says, what remains of the Constitution, rule of law is a veneer or an illusion. Yeah, it feels like that a lot. But I, fought the good fight today and I had good results. So did everyone forget that the Proud Boys was started by a Canadian comedian and the name was a gay joke? Yes, but it was also started as a response to Antifa. Basically, it was meant to be kind of like a counterweight. Had you had no Antifa, there would be no Proud Boys. Really, there wouldn't be. And once again, they are proud Western chauvinists who refuse to apologize for creating the modern world. At the end of the day, can you really hate them for that? Charles Forrest says, holy self-conflicting document, Batman. Stabby says, no one ever gets charged for perjury, so why bother being honest? When you guys are right, you're right. You're right. Jim is saying this is straight up Stasi shit. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Name Smith says Hoover loved women's dresses. You left out part of that. Hoover loved women's dresses. Yes, Allegan, you're right. It's not our fault you talk to our source. We have no control over our source. Kerry Matchett says baseball is fun. Yes. Dan Saturday says talk to him and mess with him. Or start feeding him bad info. Ingrid says start lying to him. Yeah, but here's the thing: if you really did that, I No, it's not even worth getting you. You start causing problems for yourself at that point. I could see the FBI saying, "Well, now you're lying to federal group, federal agents, through these people, and you're obstructing." You know what they'd say? Obstructing justice, screwing with an investigation. You'd no reason to lie. You don't feed bullshit like that. I can see them slapping me with an obstruction charge without hesitating. So no, I'd want to stay away from that. Yes, Charles, you're like, we didn't direct the source. We just said he'd get better deals if we get all the convictions. Patty Leather saying, "Hey, would we lie to you?" Yes. And Parallax says, "The sources, trust us, bro. Bruh, trust me." Curie Matchett says, "The state may think they're the ultimate authority, but they are not." And that's true. That is true. We are the ultimate authority. We, the people, are the ultimate authority. We are the givers and takers of authority. It is ours to give. It is also ours to take. Read that as you will and interpret that as you will. But my statement still stands. The authority is ours to give and ours to take. Patty's saying no mistrial. There probably won't be one. Nope, I don't see it. Tammy Davis says, "Will this get overturned eventually?" The courts are just going to laugh it away, saying, "Oh, it's okay. That's how these boys act all the time." It's like listening to Dukes of Hazzard. "Well, it looks like them Duke boys got in trouble again." You're like, well, it's like them Fed boys done got themselves into a pickle again. Carrie says all DC courts are illegitimate. Yes. NL says fund mandatory HRT for the FBI. Got to be careful because HRT is the hostage rescue team. I don't want them to get funded like that. That would be really bad. The HRT kills people. The HRT shoots unarmed women and doesn't go to prison for it. So. Oh. Sniff the marker, Sean. This one's not. Yeah, this isn't one of those ones you can get high off of. God, it's probably going to get fucking clipped. Damn it. So. Stephen Cooper says, "What's something about rats getting bats?" Haven't heard it that way, but that's a good one. Metal Matt says your autism is showing. Dude, it shows all the time. I was building a model earlier this week. Don't worry, the autism just leaking out of me. Did I see anything with Fuddbusters? We're gonna get to that. Hartman for $20. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. $20, guys. That's a lot. So thank you. I know that's a lot to donate, or a lot to give. I really appreciate it. I'm so glad I moved where I did last year. No more wannabe gangster graffiti on truck stop walls. It's all about it's all about removing your local feds and pedos. Yeah. No lies detected. Winter Soldier's talking about being in the ruble ghetto. Well, yes. In the ghetto, as Cartman would say. When his mama cries. So only other thing that she don't need is another hungry mouth to feed. Oh, my girlfriend would love that if she was listening. She likes Elvis. Wicked Monkey says, "Did anyone find 3 in ditches in Ohio?" Probably at some point. Once again, guys, snitching used to be a hazardous job, like deadliest catch hazardous. Like, you get fucking just Boop. Hey, where'd he go? I don't know. He was snitching. Now snitching is safe. Not like the good old days of snitching. So Harbor Walrus says Antifa without the federal funding. No, I mean they were there to they were in response to that. I think they're fine. Cracking communist skulls. I mean, need to be dealt with. Nobody else is doing it. Will Gavin get called as a founder? No, I think he's pretty much been like disavowed and distanced himself. So, hmm. Smash the like button now says the CSIS, which is a Canadian secret police, did the same thing to Canadian truckers. They used the Nazi flag guy as the lawyer for the truckers. Yeah, they. Mm-hmm. Yep. Capisi says lying to the government should be like the Medal of Honor. That'd be great. Yes. 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 NL, you're right. Harmless error. Oh shit! I'm trying to catch up to you guys here. Sorry, trying to read through these. Harble Warble says high functioning. Halligan who says if I go to court, the sniffing markers will be the clip. Yeah. Carrie Matches says, "What's the background painting?" Those are the from the From website where they take like movies and they squish them down. So hold on. That one is Hunt for Red October. That one is Heat. So if you go to from.co, you can find them there. I'm not going to keep doing their thing until they start giving me money because I've already given them enough free business. That's a shame for $4.99. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Says take the Jack Sparrow creepy doctor from his trial approach to the Constitution. It's more what you call yes. It's more what you call guidelines than actual rules. Yes. Yes. Then they treat him as suggestions. Alyssa says you love the clips and I love making them. I know, but when I make them, I'm like, fuck. I'm just reacting. I'm just doing me. And all of a sudden, I'm like, shit, it's a clip. It's like Metal Matt says, just like the FBI hostage rescue team, I shoot loads on unarmed women too. Oh, oh no, oh no, oh. Sir Marhouse for $4.99. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Says Congressman, excuse me, Mr. Edgy Lawyer Man. Did you in fact make this incredibly base tweet, and did you mean it? Base Lawyer Man. Yes. Honk. Oh. Yes. Takashi69 got stumped in a gym bathroom. Yep, he did. Snitching dangerous, dude. Snitching dangerous, especially the amount he snitched. In fact, he's still walking around on, 2 feet is impressive to me. So. All right. So where are we at? What have I covered so far? Okay. All right. Well, after getting angry for a bit, let's get on to something a little more fun. So, Afro Man. Yes. Some of you are wondering who Afro Man is, and well, God, makes me feel so old. If you guys don't know who Afro Man is, but he wrote the song Because I Got High. He's a rapper. He also sung Colt 45 and 2 Zigzags. Baby, that's all we need. Anyway, Afro Man liked to talk a lot about smoking weed. And he lives here in Ohio. In fact, Adams County, Ohio, which is way down on the river, down in the Southland. Probably like an hour away from Cincinnati, but it's out in the holler. So he got raided by law enforcement while he was out of town, and they raided his house in August. And he had his security cameras going, and his, wife at the time were filming it. And they kicked in his door and they ransacked his house. They took a bunch of money for who knows what reason. They were looking for drug dealing and trafficking and kidnapping evidence. They were flipping through CDs, and he made fun of them, just talking shit, making fun of these guys in all kinds of ways. They busted his front door out. And it was all because he had a vape pen, is what it sounds like. I've not seen the search warrant itself. But, his wife, his mom, and his kids were there. The police said they confiscated a vape pen, 3 roaches, and $4,000. Okay, well, they said they took $4,000, but when it was returned, it appeared that money was missing. The police stealing from a drug raid? No way. But a subsequent review by the State Bureau of Criminal Investigation determined that the deputies had miscounted the amount seized during the raid itself. Cops being illiterate fucks and not knowing how to do math? No way. Although both are really possible and still probably happened. But as he did it, the police now join the Soggy Tampon Brigade and file a lawsuit. And why did they file this lawsuit? Well, we're going to talk about why they filed that lawsuit, because I have the lawsuit. And I'm not joking. They really did do this. They filed a lawsuit. These brave sheepdogs, the bravest sheepdogs around. If you live down here, these are the men who are going to protect your kids when somebody's shooting up the school. These brave warriors, they're going to file a lawsuit. That's how brave they are. So you have these guys up here: Sean Cooley, who's a faggot; Justin Cooley, who's a faggot; Michael Estep, another faggot; Sean Grooms, faggot; Brian Newland, a faggot; Lisa Phillips, another faggot; and Randolph L. Waters Jr., another faggot, versus Joseph Edgar Foreman, also known as Afro Man. Okay, well, let's talk about these faggots here first. We'll get to them. So, these faggots are all deputies with the Adams County Sheriff's Office. Okay. The people who raided. Oh, and Randolph Waters, he's a sergeant, so he's a sergeant faggot, I guess, what we call. Faggot. I mean, because why would I call them faggots? I mean, you are a police officer. You execute a raid, and somebody blasted you for acting like assholes, and your first thought is, you're part of that thin blue line, that thinnest blue line separating society from anarchy. You're like, he done made fun of us. Oh no! Oh, is that how you deal with criminals? Like, what? Do they just make fun of you and you start crying on the side of the road? One of them calls you a bitch. You just like, I'm suing. You're under arrest, but I'm suing you now. As your tampon slides out down your pant leg. Really. I almost want to drive through here and get stopped by one of them. Like, if I call you I want to piss him off. Like, wait, are you one of those bitches who sued Afro Man because you're a little bitch? I'll bet he'd sue me too. I'm suing you. You're hurting me. Here's your ticket in a lawsuit, sir. Woo! But anyways, we're gonna scroll. We'll skip all this because we need to get to what they're claiming. So what did Foreman do? Well, Afro Man used portions of the recordings of the search to use the image and likeness and distinctive appearances of the personas of the officers involved. Yes, public officials raiding someone's private home when they had a warrant. He didn't go to their house and film them. These motherfuckers came into his house. Fuck you guys. I mean, seriously. Fuck y'all bitches. I mean, the amount of balls. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. The amount of floppy, drippy, droppy labia you little cunts have collectively together. To think you have the right to sue this man when you showed up to his house and fucked with him. And he decided to fuck back. You jackbooted motherfuckers. God, thank God you were not Uvalde. You'd be calling your lawyer saying, you need to serve the shooter with a lawsuit. Serve with a lawsuit. This is too scary. God, you know, these guys will fucking help you when life matters. So what did Afro Man do? Went on YouTube, Snapchat, and TikTok and said, check out these corrupt motherfuckers and look what they did to me. Okay. You know, he's used it to sell products. He's used it with their images. Cool. He's allowed to. You know, there's an Instagram post of him wearing... You made fun of him for being a fat guy. I mean, shit, Monty made fun of me. He says I'm a 600-pound lawyer. Should I go sue him now? No, because I'm not a floppy, sloppy vagina. I ignore it. I mean, this cop probably getting made fun of by people he arrests calling him a fat ass. In fact, I'll say it right now, Sean Cooley, you fat cocksucker. Pound cake motherfucking bitch boy. Sue me now, too. Sue me. Sue me, motherfucker. Show how big your balls are. Show me. Sue me. Let's go, bro. Come on. Lake County, Ohio. Let's get at it, son. Let's get at it. But they get down to here's where they cry about it. Here's where they talk about their damages. The soggy tampon damages. Oh. You know, these were done without any of the plaintiff's permissions for commercial purposes. You're public officials. Public officials. You did something to somebody. You decided to do that. You know, and as a result of these actions, plaintiff is subjected to ridicule. Yeah, you should be subjected to ridicule. You guys look like fucking retards on the video. You busted down his door for a vape pen and a couple of roaches, and then you took money. Then you had to give it all back. Yeah, you guys looked like the Keystone fucking Cops. Oh no, somebody showed the world we're fucking retards. Yep, that happens. You know, even in the further performance of their official duties by member of the public who has seen some of the defendant's ascribed postings. Okay, yeah, so the rest of the world saw you guys are a bunch of fucking cocksuckers. Here's an idea. Don't do sketchy shit and people won't get mad at you. Just thought. I mean, yes, I get it. I'm a product of public school education, you know, except for like preschool, but like, you know, subject, you know, I K through 12, public school, you know, Bowling Green State University, University of Toledo, state schooling through my entire life. But you know, even I can figure this out a little bit. And, you know, we all speak the same language and all that, even down in Adams County. So I'm thinking these Hill Jacks can figure it out. You know, in some instances, it has made it even more difficult and more dangerous for plaintiffs to carry out their official duties because of comments made and attitudes expressed towards them by members of the public. Yeah, imagine that. People don't like their cops running around acting like fucking criminals. People don't like their cops running around kicking in people's doors over bullshit. Yeah. Oh my God. People are good. People are mad at us for this. Yeah. They should be. Oh. As a further result of defendant's actions, plaintiff has been subjected to threats, including death threats, by anonymous members of the public who have seen some of the above described postings. Sic semper tyrannos. Once again, for the kids in the back, for Sean Cooley and all you little faggots down in Adams County who are suing a man you fucked with because he decided to fuck back, and he fucked back harder than you could fuck him. Sic semper tyrannos. Thus, always to tyrants. Interpret that as you will. But for some reason, I felt like stating this Virginia's motto, the Commonwealth of Virginia's motto. But something to think about. You know what? I'll translate this into something. I see it down there. You're right. I'll translate this into, as being Ohio man, I'll translate this into Ohioese for them. Get wrecked, motherfuckers. Get wrecked. They suffered damages, including the unauthorized use of personas. They suffered humiliation, ridicule, mental distress, embarrassment, loss of reputation. Oh. This ain't getting your reputation back, boys. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Oh. Salty Balls says Adams County some hillbilly shit. Yeah. And I will say here, though, and the thing that really pissed me off the most about this whole thing, I had been working on getting in contact with Afro Man's booking agent. I had made some communication with her about trying to get him to come on for an interview. I've been working on it. The fact this lawsuit's been filed kind of fucks that all up because obviously he's not going to be able to talk with a pending lawsuit. I mean, his attorney's going to tell him to shut up. So thanks, officers. Thank you. I really needed that. Allegan News says he wants the $4,000 back. Yeah, he did get it. Yep, a no-knock warrant for a vape pen. Yep, he made a song. He made a whole song about it. And I would play it, but he actually is like, that's a copyrighted thing. I don't want to get struck for that. So. Yes, Jonathan says Senor Faghetto. Sir Marha says Sergeant Faggot reported for duty. Oh. Yes, this is who we are. Just thank you for your cervix, deputies. Pete Wayner says send the auditors. Yes, that's where all the auditors need to go, just to terrorize these people. Now, if this actually proceeds any further, I might drive down to Adams County. That's like 4 hours away, but that would so do that. Just see what goes on. So. Hold on. Wait, what did Ken say? Did I miss it? Ken's counseling couch. Hot take, guys. The ATF protected our freedom at Waco and Ruby Ridge. Oh. Sir House is like, Ken, say psych right now. Oh. Jacob Peets, is there an affirmative defense for this joke of a case to get it dismissed, right? Yeah, my response would be, LOL, are we seriously doing this? No, there's a lot to be done there. There's a lot to be, he'll be all right, but Porcelain Thunder says you have no right to privacy in someone else's house. Yeah, especially when you're doing, stuff as a government official on the government's time. So, Metal Matt saying your rants have earned you many good boy points. Get yourself some tendies, me friend. Oh, yeah, get some tendies. All right. And Anon No Mouse says Sean equals anonymous members of the public. I can neither confirm nor deny. Can neither confirm nor deny. That's a shame for $4.99. Says thank you for the super chat. The support says, sue me if you want, but I'm finna appropriate your name, image, and likeness by clipping this rant and sending it the group text to my entire office. By all means, if it makes your Friday go better, listening to some retard in Ohio, happy to help. Seriously though, guys, and that's the thing. I know Alyssa clips stuff here, but I don't. You want to clip making fun of me, good, bad, or indifferent. You guys can do as you wish there, as long as you're not running a channel where you're like sucking down money and views off me. I don't really care. Otherwise, yeah, I'll stop it. But other than that, no, don't care. Alligator News says, did you know? Yes. Did you know that you can hunt for minerals on government lands? Search for Ruby Ridge on Google. So, oh. And then I guess the last thing, oof, we're doing pretty good on time. We are blowing through this stuff faster than those Adams County sheriffs. Oh, we got something. We got something in locals chat. We got something in locals chat from Winter Soldier. Yes, Officer Soggy Tampons. Yep. Some all gave some gave all. Let's see what else you guys have here. Oh my god, you guys, I can't put some of these up here. I'll have to wait. Oh, in exile, I see your tip over there. Take my 3/5 of a 10. Oh. Oh. God. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah, those are. Oh God, I can't. Brimstone, I cannot show those here. So, guys, if you want to see some real spicy memes, come over to potentiallycriminal.locals.com and you could join the private chat and the live chat we have going. And yeah, it's woo, it's a bit spicy right this second. I'm gonna have to. We're gonna take a look at it, and then we do a live stream right after this is over, and we'll be talking about it. But as we need to end the night on some levity, something funny, a friend of the show. I like to say I'm a friend of the show. It's a friend of mine, be a friend of yours. Friend of the Second Amendment as well. Matt LaRosier, also known as Fuddbusters, also the president and CEO of MAF Firearms Incorporated. If you guys want to buy wind chimes, maffirearms.com, you can buy your Mac 10 wind chimes, among other things. So what we will do, though, is he was called to a hearing by the House Judiciary Committee to discuss the ATF's assault on the Second Amendment. Now, he was invited, along with a couple other people, including a toolbox from Everytown for gun safety, which, yes, his stance was, my dad was a Green Beret. He taught us about guns, too. Okay. But we need to get to what happened with Matt, because this is this is Keno. This is just, I wish it was me. I wish it was me. But yes, he well, we'll show what happens here. Matt got to have some fun. We're gonna turn this up and we're gonna open it up. And this is a representative from the state of Illinois. I forget his Krishna Murthy. He is a Democrat from Illinois. And he had a question for Matt. So let's just listen in.
Now, Mr. Larosiere, you have a YouTube channel called Fuddbusters, isn't that right?
Oh, I see you're a fan.
I actually have a screenshot right here.
Thank you.
This is your YouTube channel, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I like that. Like, yes, you must be a fan. 100%. Yes, he's a fan. Oh, you guys want the Irish clip? We'll do that. I have the Irish clip. Hold on. I gotta where is Oh, also real quick before we get to Fart Merms, you've been a member for 4 months. Thank you as well for your support. I appreciate it. Oh, actually, you know what, guys? Actually, yeah, I can't find it right now. It's moved along too fast. Let me send me the clip. Oh, you already did. Parallax, where is it? Oh, I got it. All right. I got it. Well, let's finish this up. Let's finish this one up first. Let's finish up Matt.
And Fuddbusters is kind of your handle for YouTube and social media, isn't that right?
For YouTube, correct.
Okay. And you have a similar account for Twitter with Fuddbusters, correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good. Well, we went back and looked at your Twitter history on Fuddbusters. Can you hold that, please? And this is what we found. Can you see this tweet?
Yes, I can.
This is from January 20.
You son of a bitch, internet.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
There we go.
Well, we went back and looked at your Twitter history on Fuddbusters. Can you hold that, please? And this is what we found. Can you see this tweet?
Yes, I can.
This is from January 27th, 2023 at 7:51 p.m.
Oh. Yes, Nacho Kitty says, yes, sir, we found you and you are super based. Yes, Server House says, sir, I'm showing this. Can you see this big fuck off that you tweeted? Yes.
Where you said something very, very disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking when you wrote that statement?
I was very upset about the very public execution of an individual, but I don't think that that's the subject of this hearing.
Those are your words, right?
Oh, yes, they are.
Correct. I find these deeply offensive. As
don't give a fuck that it's offensive. Now, granted, Matt's better at this than me. He has a little bit of poise. I would have said, I don't give a fuck that it's offensive, you cocksucker. I would have got myself held in contempt of Congress, though, probably.
As somebody who believes very much in protecting law enforcement, not attacking them, Mr. Wilcox.
That's where I'd ask, do you believe in cops beating somebody to death? Because that was in the aftermath of Tyree Nichols. So, yes. Fuck cops when they do the shit.
What's your reaction to this particular tweet?
Here's Soy Boy. Here's the Soy Boy from every town.
Mr. Larosiere.
I think this is really bad. And we should really just take everybody's guns because,
I find the words offensive. I think it is an attack on law enforcement, and
it's an attack. It's an attack on law enforcement.
To the subject of this hearing, we need to be supporting agencies like ATF who are doing the work on the front lines, not threatening to abolish or defund them.
And certainly,
Yes, we should help them when they're running guns to Mexico and killing border agents. We really need to do that. Oh, no. Fucking. Yes. Soy. Yes. Yes, an attack like Waco. Yep. Yes. Yes. So, yes. Matt, if I don't think you're watching this because you're out probably doing other stuff, but, actually, you deserve it tonight. Oh. Being a real toast. Walking into Congress and doing some Chadley shit like that. It's like, you said that? Yep. Not even just like 100% I did. Here's to you, King. Yes, Torgo the White says, as long as they're arresting violent offenders, we should be supporting them. Yeah. Jonathan says, Fuddbusters. Yep. Trot Golfer. I haven't seen you. We're glad you're here, man. Says, are they fucking with those amendments again? What about all those guns we sent to other countries? Yeah, like all those Nazis we armed in Ukraine with like literal Nazis. Yeah. Also, you're never late. Nobody's ever late. We're always on time. So, and yes, before we get too far, we'll finish up with the other Matt clip. Yes. The other Matt clip. The other Matt clip. Oh, forgot about this one. It's been a little while, but Matt did a very good job. Very good job with the British TV personalities. I have a feeling nobody's ever going to come to me at this point. I mean, like, why would they? I mean, just look at me. They're going to go through like 10 seconds of what I have to say. And they're going to be like, nope, click. But here is this in the aftermath of Uvalde. And he's talking to a British guy.
Are you in your house or a gun store? Because if that's your house, do you need all those weapons or isn't one enough?
I like them. And in fact, the one right behind me, the Irish like these, to
I have to say,
Now he's referring to an AR-18, the Widowmaker, as the IRA called it. They also called it the Little Armalite.
Lying in the dark with the Provo Company. A comrade on the left, another one on the right. A clip of ammunition for the Little Armalite.
are you in your house or a gun?
Which is a very good drinking song if you've never heard it before. Oh. But yes, the AR-18, the AR-180, they devastated things down there. So, yes, look at his expression. He loves it. I know. That's like, once again, he's had the chance to do some Chadley shit. Yep, the AR-180 is what they had. Yep. Brandon Herrera did a video with that gun. Yeah, and then he hung out with Eye Patch. So, Herrera pissed me off a little bit doing that. Oh, I was just I'm going to change his views. No, you weren't. So, he knew what he was doing. News says the U.S. Forest Service needs your help. Research Operation Northwoods. Oh. All right, guys. Well, that is. Want to catch up on this one here. Great loaner for $5. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. The support. Defund the ATF, the crying lying Dems, and all the other glowies. Wouldn't that be a wonderful world? I agree. I 100% agree. Linux user says, Eye Patch, who is that? Dan Crenshaw. Went to his birthday party. Jacob Castro saying, yeah, that BRCC wore off on him. Or if you read about how they do it, maybe it wore off inside of him. Yeah. Give him a little like... So. Because in Batman says there's a Rittenhouse rendition of Little Armalite. Yeah, there is. And oh my God, you fucking people. I used the Blackboard for something important and Discord's already fucking with me. God. Oh, no. So Real Fight says, great show. Come on my show sometime soon, please. Hey, get a hold of me. We'll talk. We'll talk, brother. So, guys, that is it for tonight. We got it all done. We got it all done in under 2 hours. 2 hours. We got it all done. We just powered through it. I am so thrilled we were, because I thought this was going to take forever and a day. I think I got everything I promised. So that is it for me. Please, guys, crush the like button. If you're over on Rumble, seize that plussy, seize the means of plusduction. Just grab that plussy. I mean, just grab that plussy. Grab it like you're trying to juice an orange. Just grab it. You just grab it and be like, if you scream, it'll only make it harder for you. So that is it for me, guys. If you're new here, please, give me a like. If you really enjoyed this, give me a subscribe. We do this every Thursday night at 9:30. I release stuff throughout the week if I can. And then if there's something live, something to cover, I will try to cover it. God forbid they indict Trump tomorrow. We'll jump on that. Maybe there'll probably be another autism stream this weekend with the model building. I got a lot of painting done on it, so I'm ready to start gluing together. And in the meantime, guys, if you are here commenting, thank you for the support. If you've been a member, thank you for the support. Super chats, thank you for the support. Everybody here on YouTube, thank you. Rumble, guys, I know you're out there. I know you think it's the ghetto, but I ain't forgot about you. Job well done's 24-hour stream when? I don't know. I don't know about that. God, maybe like 10 years ago I could do that, but I'm getting to be a little bit of an old man. Mike says, wouldn't it be harder for you? Oh, yes, the Crumbleys. Short story that the appeals court released their opinion today saying the Crumbleys are going to have to stand trial. I am going to review that opinion. It's actually lengthy, and they laid out a bunch of bullshit. But we're going to go over that in its own video because it requires some time. So, Sir Marhouse says, I love you even though you're circumcised. That was our secret. It's between us. Why would you say that to everyone? So, guys, once again, thank you, everybody. Everybody here, I appreciate it. Everything again. Everybody super chatted too. Thank you so much. And I will just say this until next time. Just because you did it does not mean you're guilty. Except for you in the FBI. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Good night, everybody.